There we go. Yay. All right. Welcome, everyone. And so beautiful to see you. And those I don't see, welcome. And I'm guessing one of you is in a tropical location. So enjoy it. Yeah, well, it's not you. It's not me. It's Mary Jane, which is amazing. So I'm so happy to be able to get away. All right, guys, get off my yoga mat. There you go. Yay. All right, so here's my I'm just going to share this little bit of words of wisdom. I share them with you who come to class, who've been doing this for a long time, and so this might resonate deeply for you. But so one of my teachers' name is Mark Holtzman. He's turning 60 on Saturday, and he was saying that he's however many years have been practicing. And he said, one thing I know is that it's not how hard you practice or how long you practice, it's the consistency and how you practice. So if you come like, at nothing, it's all fine. I tell you guys, I did once a week for 10, 12 years. So he's like, if you go once a week and work really hard, he's like, it's not about that. It's about just the showing up. So, even if you're showing up once a week, it's all fine and lovely and great. You're doing it. It's the consistency. And if you think back to like how many years you've been doing this, years, everybody here, years. That, I think maybe I say it all the time. I feel I say it all the time, but it is commendable. It is commendable. And to even know on those days, like where things maybe don't feel so good, maybe you wake up and your legs are like telling you did something or any of that, that's good information. It's just this. I feel like that's what we're doing here is the consistency in the practice, gathering information. How am I feeling? What am I doing? Tapping in, all of that good stuff. So welcome to your practice, friends. All right, let's just start right here. Inhale, lengthen. Oh, and as you exhale, bring your palms together. So sweet. Bow your chin. And then you can rest your hands on your heart, if you like, or just hold them here or on your four-legged being, connecting. Those animals, they do it consistently. You'll never see an animal wake up and not stretch. Beautiful. So just sitting in the sweetness right before your practice. Bringing in all of your senses, your presence, your breath. And also noticing anything that feels a little blocked. Third eye, you were concentrating on something. Heaviness in your head. It's all there. We just welcome it all. The sweetness and maybe the not so sweet, the heart heaviness. Whatever you're feeling. And we welcome all of that, we embrace it, and we'll call it home. We'll chant Om together 3 times. Inhale nice and tall, and then exhale this breath completely. And inhale fully to begin. Bow your chin, release your hands to your thighs, lift your chin and open your eyes. Okay. All right, we're gonna start. We're gonna set up actually. I'm like, okay, just give me a second, guys. I think we're gonna start in child's pose, and if that's not your jam, you just roll onto your back, hug your knees in, And then what I was going to start with is just to have your bolster and your blocks nearby. So, yay. Okay. All right. So set up what you need. You know, if you need to move a little bit before you go into your child's pose, then do that. Feel into your body. And then we'll drop in, and we're just going to allow this pose to unfold. So let it be slow, meaning that as you bring your hips to your heels and lower yourself down, maybe pause on your forearms. And your arms can stretch out, take that. And if you need to wiggle, do that. And just take maybe 2 more breaths here. And after you finish your second, we'll come up to hands and knees, and we're going to just move through cat-cow. So if you need a blanket under your knees, do that. Yes. Set yourself up. I'm going to tuck the toes under just to open the feet a little bit. Okay. And as you inhale or exhale, I'm going to not tell you how to move your breath. Just feel that one breath takes you into the cat, one breath takes you into the cow. The in-breath or the out-breath. And as you connect to the breath in this movement here, go slow. So you can feel the shoulders, the head, everything. Just move it. Okay, and then we'll drop into cat pose. So the belly dropping, tail lifting. I'm going to move to downward facing dog. It's the cat and the dog. Bring your hands forward a little bit. And as you exhale, lift your knees up and send them back. And let this be an opening for you. So the head can hang and move your legs in a way that feels good. So lifting and lowering the heels or bending the knees. Whatever you're doing, close your eyes. Tap into how this feels. Turn your heels away from each other. Press them towards the floor. Good. And then we'll lower onto the knees. And I'm going to sit on the tops of the feet. Feel free to just slide your legs out and just take a moment and drop the gaze down the bridge of the nose. Okay, so we're going to grab the bolster and the blocks and maybe a blanket. And I'm going to start in supported Sphinx. So I'm just going to put one block. You might do like a little angle of the block. So I don't know if you can see because the light is so, yeah, okay. And then I'll put the bolster on top. Okay, and so you might make this lower because this is what we're going to do. And I know we did this last week. That I lie down. So the hip bones are maybe at the end of the bolster. Chest is supported, and then the arms come down like you're doing Sphinx, but it's super supportive. And if you want to throw a blanket in, you know, to support your head in some way, just that feels nice. So just take your time, make it what you need, build your house, and then we'll melt in. So you might turn your head to one side, you might just rest your chin, and widen your legs apart. If you don't have a bolster, I'm thinking one of our friends is not at home, so roll a stack of towels. We'll do it. Make your own. Okay, and now we're here. So just feel, you know, if your knees need a little, they're not happy, maybe tuck the toes under, press the heels away, and then let the knees come back down. Okay, so nothing to do here, but just breathe and be. And if you turned your head to one side, that's fine. I'll let you know when to change sides. Just drop into this place where we can allow the body to drop even as we maintain this lift just from the shape of the props. And start to feel the breath move more into the back as we put a little pressure on the front. It's naturally happening. Let your shoulders just rest wherever they want to. And if you have your head turned one way now, just turn it the opposite way. So if you're comfortable, just stretch your arms straight. Just do that for a few moments. I'm just going to go straight in front of you. Fingers spread. Just beginning to deepen your breath in some way that helps you expand on the inside. Just creating some space someplace. And then you can, if your arms are stretched out, maybe bring them back. And we're gonna just bend at the knees. So you see how that is for you. You might just bring the soles of the feet together and take a few moments, let the thighs be. And if you feel like, oh, I just want to rock these legs side to side, like a little on your front windshield wiper, so that you can feel yourself rolling from one side of the belly to the other. I'm also just moving down the bolster, it's just happening. So that's happening for you. It's all good. And then I'm going to bring the feet together. Give them a little rub. Rub the soles of your feet together. Good. Okay. Then release the legs. Bring your hands back. And we press up. Hands and knees. I'm going to move back to child's pose. And here you have this nice bolster support. So if that is helpful, great. If it's not, roll on your back, move the props out, otherwise just coming back. So I like to take like the bolster, end of the bolster is kind of center of the thighs. That's not right in. And then the blanket will come to just support the belly. And just feel for yourself, oh, like, am I really lifting off? Can I put another blanket? So I have something to rest into. And then we'll turn the head to one side. Maybe you start with the opposite side. Had your head turned last time. And again, just receiving the breath, the support, let the shoulders do what they want to do, hands do what they want to do, but everything is surrendering to the support. And you're coming back to your breath, you're feeling in the tops of the feet, the ankles, the knees, the hips. So welcome it. If you need to release, you also offer yourself that. Your practice and your space. And then just turn the head to face the opposite direction. Feel your breath. Maybe it's starting to get a little bit more full. You can even imagine this torso of yours as container, which it is, houses all of you. Okay, just scan, notice where you're holding tension. So can you release a little bit more? My friends are going to, if you're digging this, you can stay. I'm going to move to downward dog. And hoping, if you come forward and your chest is over the highest part of your bolster, then when you tuck the toes under, you might get your head or the crown of the head, the forehead, the hairline part to rest on the bolster in the block. And then I'm just walking my feet back, finding a little bit more length. But if the head doesn't rest on the bolster, just let it angle. Feel your strength in your hands and in your legs, hips, lifting. If you can melt your heart space. Okay, and then lower onto your knees. And we're going to turn around. And now we're going to lie over the bolster like we do. So I have a blanket here for the head. And if you know, because you practice yoga, that your arms need more support as they come to lie down, then take another blanket, or one on either side. Dog beds work amazing. Actually, finding a dog bed is prop amazing. So maybe that'll be a different class. But if you have whatever you have, support yourself. And you can turn your palms up, and then legs can straighten or stay bent. And we're just going to rest here for a few moments. Just allow yourself to be. As you're resting here on the bolster, just notice where feel your blocks under your head, under your heart. Mine's just really supporting my head. I'm going to change the blocks in a moment. So we'll just stay here and kind of feel that, if your heart is dropping, if you are like me and just feel support under your head, then just let's think of this as maybe the cow portion of this shape. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Good. Okay, now I'm going to come out of this just so I can change the position of the blocks. So rolling out to your side or coming up, and then because I want to have the support under the back of my heart. So I'll take 1 block, second height, 1 block, the highest height, or it could be like lowest and second, whatever you like. And you know what you like. The more you do it, and then you're like, okay, I know this. Okay, and then we're going to come back. So that hopefully when you come back now, you feel your heart lifted and the head supported. So take your time to readjust and to find it. If it's not quite there, so let the shoulders drop. We're more into this like cat portion if we were doing cat cow with the heart lifted. Okay. Feel your breath. Let yourself in. So nice thing with this pose, if you're settled in it, we have the heart supported, the head supported. There's the end of the bolster at the small of the back. So it's giving us this little lower back curve. And then you can maybe feel from the tush all the way through the legs, grounded to the floor. Just dropping in and connected. You can let your feet flop out if that's what they want to do. And then settling into your breath. I'm going to add the arms, but before we do that, really feel where your breath is coming into for yourself. So just taking 2 more big breaths. And so we can actually feel what changes when we extend the arms. Okay, guys, we're going to do it this way. We're going to bring the hands together over the heart. Interlace your fingers, flip your palms, sweep the arms up and over your head. And then just be in this extended place for a few moments. You can always bend your elbows if that's happier for your shoulders. And then just notice what changes in the breath. And let's just reverse the interlace of the fingers. Start to lengthen your breath. So maybe now you feel the breath move all the way up into the upper heart, upper chest. Notice if you're taking any extra tension into your face. And then we'll release the arms and just set them back into a comfortable place by your side, or look to the side a little bit. And just feel the effects of that for a minute or two. your third eye space soften. Release yourself. This is your space to surrender. Nothing to do, nowhere to be, and no one to be. And then staying in the shape, bend your knees, feet to the floor. Gonna go for some windshield wiper here. So you put your hands in a place that they support you. Don't feel the knees need to go right to the floor. I mean, they might. It's just about the moving the lower body. You might be sliding down your bolster. It's okay. Okay, let's let the knees just drop to the right. Turn your head to the left. Take one more nice big breath in. Breathe out. And then head to center, knees up, and move the knees to the left, head to the right. Drop in again. And bring everything up. Okay. Let me just, no, we're not going to do that. Okay. You're going to either roll to the side or just press yourself up. And then just come to sit for a moment and face your little bolster package. Just feel. Okay. All right. So I'm going to keep the bolster where it is and just take the legs out either side. And maybe you need to sit on something. We're just going to come into twist here. So you can sit on your blanket, or the bolster is immaterial. We're going to play with it again later. We'll just leave it. Okay, let's bend the right leg. And we're going to twist to the right. So I'm going to take the right hand behind, reach the left arm up, and just be in this lift for a moment. So you feel like you're lengthening up through the left side and also releasing the left hip down. Good. Let's take one more moment. And then we'll take this left arm, maybe the elbow wraps around the front of the knee, the right knee, and return to the right. And just be in this twist. So feel you can turn your abdomen a little bit more to the right. Maybe you might find more space if you walk the right hand out and lean back and then turn, then come back in and just see, oh, did that change things? Turn your head. And then hug that right knee in. Soften through the left side a little bit. Okay, I'm going to stay here for another few breaths. Now I'm going to take that elbow to the outside of the knee. But that is optional. If that's too tight or you don't feel ready for that, just hug the knee. And then close your eyes and rest your gaze. And then let the breath do the work. You feel this, the breath is moving up this spiral staircase and filling the right side of you a little bit more, upper chest. And then you can feel it right to the front of the shoulder. You can soften your left leg. Okay, so just before we come out, we're going to take a nice big breath in, feel yourself as much as you can, and then release the twist as you exhale. And just come back to sitting and straighten out the legs. Just be here, lengthen yourself, and you drop your chin. Start to feel the unwinding. And then second side, so we'll bend the left leg, left foot to the floor. So I do have, the space between the bolster here. I'll put the left hand behind, and we're just going to reach the right arm up and just be in this lift. This opening through the right side where you can reach. Yeah. When we do stuff like this with one arm lifted and we just hang out there and breathe, we're opening up space for those organs, the organic body. Inhale. And as you exhale, start to turn, wrap it. Yeah, and then if it helps you to lean back, to twist, then take a moment and do that. Feel, you're turning your abdomen to the left now. You turn the head. It's just about the twist. And find some space here for yourself. Drop your jaw. And soften the right leg a little bit if you can. Constricted twist. Okay, I'm going to pop that elbow to the outside, totally optional. Soften the right shoulder. And now we're really in the flow of the breath. So you really, maybe close your eyes or drop the gaze, drop the jaw. And just feel the breath being invited into the left side. Even if you don't feel it so much. That's the gathering information part. Oh, I don't feel it so much. You've had an injury. All these things come to light. Okay, one more breath, full breath in, nice big breath. And then slowly as you exhale, release. We'll just come back to sit. Okay, so we're set up, guys. Forward folding is going to happen. You might scoot yourself a little forward here or back. And you make this house as big as you need. So you might even take, I'm just showing, I'm going to take another blanket and just roll it. So if you need more, you have more, or you have more. Okay, so whatever it is, here we are. We'll start with the hands behind. And you just lift your chest, maybe move the shoulders back, lift your heart. And then feel like at the very, we're lying back over the bolster. The bolster is in the small of your back. Maybe you can find that. You might need to bend your knees to find it. So, or you might not find it. That's okay too. All right, I'm just going to point and flex the feet a little bit, and we're just going to open up the backs of the legs right here before we come forward. So bring your feet into flexion, anchor the heels, inhale. And now as you exhale, bring yourself forward. You can let your legs relax. You can use that blanket in any way. Maybe it comes down. Take your time and go, oh, what would feel really good? And maybe it's the head's not going to come down. So just putting my forearms on the bolster. Maybe I'll support the head with the hands. If that works for you, or just be here. You can turn your head to one side if you like. You just tuck your chin, rest the forehead, and we're here for a little bit. So just allow the softening, the awakening, whatever you're becoming aware of here. Any stiffness, okay, I see you. I acknowledge those places in the body that are tight. And I soften anywhere around there. No matter what your comfort level is in this pose, and you invoke in this feeling of deep rest. And just taking this shape and being with the breath, allowing the body to slowly open, slowly. And nature doesn't rush, and neither should we. It's taking this wherever it's being offered today. If you have your head turned one side, change it. If you're resting your head on your hands, like I have one palm on top of the other, I'm just going to switch that. And then drop back in. And hopefully you come to a place where you're like, okay, shoulders relax, jaw relax, and anything else that needs to be with the flow of the breath.
Moving into our final few moments here. Surrender more deeply if you can. And then slowly take your time, guys. If you're just, oh, Joe, just melting in, and take your time. We'll just all meet and seated and keep your eyes closed or just dropping the gaze. Please be here. Okay. All right, so I'm just gonna move that. You take your time. You're still in it, no rush. I'm just moving the blankets off. Okay, so let's, we're gonna go to Varasana. That's our next pose. And so for, I know some of you, you know, it's not a happy place. So we're just moving the blocks down to their lower height. So lowest height and second height. And then it might be, you know, it might go all the way back and sit here maybe, or adjust the blocks. And if you know you can sit on the floor, you know, maybe it's a blanket and then you come and just sit on the floor. So whichever one, you either use the bolster or not. And so, you know, if this is not a happy place, then you're gonna sit back and you're just gonna be there. We are gonna lie back. So maybe the hands come here. The other thing is we can skip Varasana completely, just have the legs out or in Baddha Konasana. Yeah, and then once you're here, guys, you know, you might even pop back up and just iron the calves. So it's not my saying, but it makes me laugh. And then I kind of tuck the feet, I'll move, I'll take my hands and just see if I can get more of the tops of the feet to the floor. Maybe you lift the knee, skin of the kneecaps up and give yourself some space. Oh, yes, girl, I see you. Yes. Okay, beautiful, you guys. That's it. What I see Lindsay down. I see Sarah almost there. Beautiful, and setting up her house. Do what you need to do. If coming back here is not happy, then forearms, that's great. You know, and you could also throw another blanket in if you need a little bit of extra support. So I have that little one I just rolled. Maybe you bring it in and support you if you need that. Okay, so be wherever. If it's just sitting, not just. If it's sitting, if it's lying back, if it's the halfway, then we're just gonna stay here for, you know, maybe 5 breaths, maybe 5 more breaths. So do your best as quick as you can. Drop yourself in. And let's take this as this. If it's an opening, for some of you, maybe at the quads, tops of the feet, the knee flexion, all of these things come in here. Not an easy place to be. Okay, nice big breath in. Try it out. I'll say this too, you know, if you love this, like this, I love this pose. I could stay here for 5 minutes. And if that's you, then offer that yourself, offer that for yourself at some point in your own practice. Otherwise, let's take one more breath. I'll say this, if you want to stay, you stay. What I'm going to do is lift, we're going to come back up to sitting, and then it's a downward facing dog, just to release the legs. So you might just pop up, and you can even stretch one leg at a time. Lift yourself up. I have the feet are either side of the bolster. Stretch. And same thing we did at the beginning. You know, if you want to pedal your feet, make some movement, wag your tail. And roll that in. And we'll just come back down onto our knees. I'm going to turn around. Okay, so I'm going to keep the blocks as they are at their lowest and second. And now I'm going to sit here, guys, and we're going to lie back almost like a supported bridge pose. So I have one blanket. I'm just going to put it here at the end of the bolster. And I have another one if I need to throw it in for my head. Yeah, this is just fun stuff. And then you're just going to come. And it's a little perch. So it's a perch. You perch. And then you walk your hands back. And once you're here, you might lift your tush and pull the tail forward. And then, you know, just maybe the tush comes forward more. So I have sacrum on the highest block, like we do. On the sacrum on the block, lie down. And then you'd be like, oh, my head needs more support. So hopefully you have your blanket there and an extra blanket if you need it. Okay. Oh, cough, always a good thing. Ah, this should feel sweet. Ish. I always say the ish because, we're different. Everybody has different things they're going through. So head below the heart here. What's happening? Changing the flow of energy and the flow of everything. You can play if you want to stretch your legs out and say, oh, how does that feel? Maybe you're going to like it. Yeah, that's it. So tush lifted, higher than heart, head down, you're upside down. Beautiful. Okay, and then feel free to close your eyes or rest your gaze. Just be here. Let it unfold. You feel a little bit of, we use the word traction happening in the back. So everything's being drawn down in a really beautiful way. Surrendering to the breath, to the shape of the pose. However you have your legs, it's all good. And just notice as we start to rest in and the body receives this shape and adjusts to it, where your breath is filling in. And just be in the flow of your breath, follow it as much as you can. Just feel yourself nourishing and nurturing these places that are receiving the breath. So if your feet are on the floor and you feel you need to invite in some movement, and feel free to just, windshield wiper those knees a little bit. And it's going to be a different movement. Maybe it's more of one knee coming in and out, or both. Just be with whatever motion of your ocean is happening, or you're still in your stillness. All fine. You're feeling, what do I need? Feel the back of your heart, hopefully supported on the bolster, and surrender what you can into your support. We're going to stay in this shape. I might take the hands down and just find that the block at the back that the sacrum's on, and just hold it, because we're going to lift the legs. And so you just want to know that, okay, I'm secure here. And once you've got that, you can heel toe your feet closer together, and then you bring one knee in, extend the leg up, or both legs. You can do one at a time or both. And then let's say if you just have, not just, but if the left leg is up and the right leg is down, maybe you stretch the right leg out. And if you have both legs up, and keep the left leg up, and we'll just take the right leg and just extend it out. So you're just pressing up from the hips out through the feet. You can even let that right leg get a little heavier. Notice if the shoulders start to connect, you can keep them relaxed. And then we'll switch legs. However you came in there, the right leg up and the left foot on the floor first, and then stretch the left leg each side. Receive this opening, working, not super hard. Good. And then take both legs up, or both feet to the floor, whatever you feel is better. And just take 2 breaths here. Tuck your chin in, guys, so the Chin's not lifting so much. I'm going to open the legs out to the sides, so nice and wide. This Upavishta position. And you can rock your hips if you like. You're still in this shape, with legs lifted and back supported. So you can just hang out with the legs open, or you rock your hips like you're driving a bus with a really big steering wheel. Good. Okay, and I'm just going to hang out with the legs open. You smile, drop the shoulders, maybe you close your eyes. Take a breath. Bend your knees, bring the knees in. You might drop the knees in towards your chest. You don't have to hold on. You just let them drop in. I'm still holding that block, and that's going to kind of keep me connected here, so I'm not sliding too far forward. And then be here with the knees bent, guys. Or some of you might straighten your legs over your head and let the tush maybe come off the bolster block. And take a little peek. Whatever you're doing here, it's all good. Legs stretched or knees bent or feet on the floor, you're getting the benefit of this shape. So by bringing the legs over, the knees into your chest, you're just putting more pressure into the middle abdomen or the heart space, or it's all fine. I think I say that a lot, it's all fine. It's just getting on your mat and doing is the practice. So release the feet back to the floor if you had taken them over your head. And now I'm just going to hang out here for another few breaths. You might stretch the legs out. Maybe the arms are going to go over the head. Let the feet just relax. And we'll just breathe here. Notice where the breath is going. Okay, so last few moments, let yourself settle. Back out of the pose a little bit, or stay in this outstretched place. Okay, and then we'll bend the knees. Now coming out can be interesting. I'm just going to wiggle myself straight off the bolster, like just to the back of the mat. And so until your tush comes down. And once the tush comes down, oh, wow, and take this, smooth out the blanket you're lying on. So once you come down, friends, with your tush on the floor, head extended, you have the bolster still there. Let's just put the legs on the bolster for a moment or two here. And arms can be wherever you like, and just take this nice supported place. We did all this work on the, from the hips to the head at a different angle. So now it's linear. You can maybe feel your breath is more linear. You're filling the container of you, maybe from the center of your body. Not so much focused in the lower body or in the upper chest. Let's take maybe one or two more breaths, let the shoulders soften. Okay, bend the knees, feet to the floor. And then we'll just roll to one side or press yourself up, whichever one. Okay, just moving off this blanket I was underneath me. Yes, that's it. Okay, guys, next pose is Supta Baddha Konasana. So I'm just putting my socks on, and I'm going to bring in the heating pads. The dogs aren't using them. Okay, so I'm going to keep this bolster as it is. You can put the bolster flat on the floor if you prefer that. Change the blocks. I want to have the heart supported, so I might just go back to the second and third height here. And then they're about maybe 3 inches apart. Yeah, oh, look at the light. It's shining perfectly on my blocks. Then I'll take these blankets, I'm just going to roll them up, one on either side. And, I'm saying wow because I'm like, okay, should we bring in the strap? And I think let's do that. If you have a strap, if you don't have a strap, you can do this pose just fine. But if you have a strap, then we start with a nice big loop, And the purpose of the strap, I just put it right over my head, is that it's going to hold the soles of the feet together. So it goes low. You put it over your head, and then I take my thumbs behind the center and just make sure there's no, the strap is nice and smooth. And it goes right down, lower part over the thighs. And then I'll just make sure that buckle is over one thigh. So it's not going to be on my feet or anyplace else. Okay, then we'll sit back. I'm going to put these little blankets here, and I take the strap that's going over the thighs. I'm going to pop it underneath both feet. So it just goes underneath the feet. And then you don't want it super tight, because once you lie down, it's going to tighten a bit. Just before you lie down, push it down again. So it's not up at the waist or the small of your back. It's going to rest on the bones. Okay, then you might lift your tush, pull the tail. Let's see, my blocks are going to come out. I'm going to come to lie down. Nice support under the heart, nice support under the head, nice support under the thighs. If you need to support your hands on your body for your shoulders, do that. Otherwise, come on in. Okay, so you feel for yourself, maybe you love this height. You get this nice, downward place of energy from the head right into the pelvic bowl. But if you prefer to have the bolster lower, then you'll just sit up and readjust it. There's no right or wrong. It's where do I feel like I can really surrender with the jaw relax. So if you've been holding a lot, take your hands up, give this jaw a little massage. You might even open your mouth really wide and move your jaw around a little bit, just to release that, anything you're holding here. You might even tap your third eye if you feel like you can't quite relax. Just invite it in. At this moment, nowhere to be, no one to be, just be. And surrender. And soften the pelvic floor. You want these blankets and supports you have under your thighs or your knees, whatever's better for you, just to let the inner groins completely relax. Even feeling how the breath now is almost inviting you down into grounding, gentle, nurturing and nourishing into the earth. Soften your eyes with me. Temples. Windows to your soul. Let them rest. Feeling this space of stillness, of quiet. We invite ourselves to rest a little more deeply. It's also scanning, noticing, are you tilting to one side a little bit? Holding any tension, even in the fingers. Just really completely surrender to this shape. The inner body, move and fill all the parts of your outer body, even in your mind's eye. Surrender, rest. Back of your head heavy. And we move into our final few moments here. allow the next few breaths to be as healing and deeply releasing. And then just going to slip the feet out of the straps. You might get one and then have to use your hands to help the other foot out. And then just stretch your legs long and pull these little blankets you were resting your legs on, maybe to your hands, to your forearms. And again, we're here in this kind of the way we started this practice, so that you feel full backs of the legs resting, heart supported, back of the head supported. Releasing anything that is not serving you at this moment. And you might know exactly what that is, and you might not know. And that's okay too. Okay, so before we come out of this, I'm just going to stretch the arms over the head. I'll bring the palms together. Start with the opposite interlace with the palms. Reach up and over. You can extend your right through your heels if you like. And it's the end of our practice, so just extending the breath everywhere. And change the interlace of the fingers right over the head. Again, maybe 2 or 5 breaths. Maybe closer to 5. Okay, release your arms. And then take a full breath in and out. And then you'll bend your knees. Notice which leg wants to bend first. Bend the opposite. And then you can roll to your side or just press yourself up. And just take a moment of just sitting to just feel. Oh, we still have the strap. I'm just going to pull it right off over the head. Just set it aside. So just take this moment to feel. Okay, hopefully that feels nice. And then we're going to move to Shavasana. So yeah, suit up. So I'm going to do Shavasana. I'm just going to turn the bolster. That will be for the legs. And I'm going to put the blocks so they're not right beside each other, a little bit of space. And that will be for the heels. And then if you want to put a blanket on top of the block, I'm not going to, but you can. And then we'll take a blanket, and I'm just going to take it, this size, I'm going to fold it in half. So nothing too fancy. And I'm just going to put that down. And that will be for the length of your back. And if you want another blanket for your head, just going to open it and just put it down there so it's there. Okay. Okay, so we're here for not a super long time. So let's make it as efficient as possible. And I know some of you have eye pillows, or I'm wearing a hoodie. So I can use that to cover my eyes as quick as you can. And you'll come in. Mostly, most of the calf is resting on the bolster. So maybe I start with the knees right at the center, and then as you lie down, it's mostly calf. And then the heels are going to be resting. So if you start with your heels at the end of the block when you lie down, hopefully they'll still be there. You can cover your eyes. Don't make any adjustments, a little higher support under your head, if that's what you need. Cover yourself in some way so that you're warm and cozy. And then just let your feet flop as I want. If your back needs a little bit of extra, you can put your feet on your bolster for a moment. Another windshield wiper, lengthen your low back. Come on back in. Softening your face, friends, consciously. Your jaw, your tongue, your eyes. allowing yourself to be a little heavier, connecting to the support of the earth beneath you. If you want to stay in your Shavasana rest for longer, then I honor that. If you're ready to come out, I honor that too. So just starting to make little movements in a way that feels good and makes sense through the fingers, toes, ankles, wrists. And turning your head side to side a few times, like that. Stretch your arms over your head, lengthen yourself. And we'll bend the knees and place the feet on the bolster for a moment or two, just allow the back to kind of settle. And you could stay here or bring the knees into your chest, hug them in for a few moments, rock if you like, or just be still. Move the knees in and out. Thing that intuitively would feel good. Pulling yourself to your side when you're ready. Then rest there for a few breaths. Just feel yourself get a little heavier. And once you start to feel that heaviness, press yourself up. Just let your head be the very last thing to come up. Take your time in your magical space. This is magical time of energy and feeling and deep awareness into your breath, into how you feel, into this body, into this space. And into this act of self-love, this offering you've given yourself. As you inhale, lengthen. And as you exhale, bring these palms together in front of your heart or on your heart or wherever they need to go. Bow your chin with great gratitude. Just be in this space. Seal this practice. As you inhale, lengthen. And exhale this breath. And we'll join together in our May We Be Blessed mantra. And then inhale. May we be blessed with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be healthy and may we be happy. And seal that. Inhale. And bow your chin. Take a full breath in. Breathe it into your hands. Get your sacred breath, friends. Lifting your chin and opening your eyes. Offer all of that. What is in comes out. What is out goes in. And then we'll send it out. Oh, yeah. Yes, and then I'm going to take all that back. So, thank you guys. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. On with the bolster. Thank you for being here. And so much love and yes. Thank you guys. And I will see you very soon. Thank you. Have a great day.